Hi lovelies, welcome back to the free weekly reading with me, Sarah Martucci, psychic medium and certified crystal healer, and this is for the week ahead, November, let's say the 26th or 27th, one of those days, through December the 3rd. All right, you guys, so we're still in the midst of Sagittarius season, so we're going to be wanting to travel more, to be more adventurous, to get out into the world and connect with different people from different religions and different backgrounds. There's something really that's going to get our blood moving and shaken by connecting with people from different places and times and thoughts and energies. So just know that this week, if you have that need to kind of get out and to try something new, and to really, truly, I think the biggest thing with Sagittarius is their freedom, to really establish your freedom to get out there, and to really just be free and find what it is that makes you feel free is going to be a huge theme this week. Also, too, we have a full moon this Sunday the 3rd in the sign of Gemini. So Sagittarius is a fire sign, and Gemini is an air sign. So there might be some fight this week between mentally, your mental space and your passion and your heart. There might be a fight between the head and the heart this week, where you may feel like you want to be free, but there may be things tying you to a certain space, keeping you there, something between freedom and duty. However that plays out for you. So don't be surprised this week if you got some conflict surrounding that. But with the sign of Gemini, these guys are the sign of the twins. So there's something here about duality. There's something here about two different sides. Also, on a negative aspect, Gemini are not necessarily known for always telling the truth. So with this full moon, I'd like you to keep an eye out for people that are lying or deceiving. You definitely do not want to do this yourself, especially if you're dealing with other people or you're trying to get something that you need. Or say you own your own business. Say you're another psychic or another medium. Or in any business whatsoever. Make sure that you are above water this week in terms of doing everything with the utmost of integrity and honesty and kindness. Really, truly bring your best traits forward here and be as truthful, be as honest as you possibly can be. Don't mask anything. Don't try to keep something secret. Don't try to say one thing and do another. Like this week you will get caught and it will be brought to light. So whenever a full moon comes up for us too, it also highlights our relationships, not only with other people, but with ourselves as well. So there might be this thing this week of either you being lied to or deceived by other people, maybe people showing you one face and doing something else behind your back, or possibly you feeling like you need to do that too. And maybe there's this theme of freedom in there that you feel like maybe you have to lie about something or lie about the situation in order to gain freedom somehow here. I want to assure you that you do not need to do that, that the truth will set you free, even if it's ugly and nobody wants to listen to it. Just make sure this week that you're always telling the truth. Do not try to deceive or lie. Your ass will get kicked. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Don't do it. So yeah, okay, so that's going to be on Sunday, and we'll talk more about the full moon next week too, because kind of leading up to it this week, again, don't be surprised if some of those themes start coming and showing up for you. But I do want to say that our mental space is going to be popping off like crazy. And two, I think if we really focus our energy here and we tap into it, and really focus on the themes that are at play. How can we maybe this week use our activated mind to really follow our passions? How can we find a logical, rational, like a logical way in order to follow what makes our heart sing? So this is going to be, I think, a good week in terms of setting those goals and groundwork. If we're able to kind of just sit down and focus on the more positive aspects of that. I'm not saying to ignore the other ones and definitely be aware of it. But if we can turn this around and use this energy any way that we want, I think that this would be a good outlet. And then, yeah, oh yeah. Also too, do you guys like that? That sad wine. Mercury's going retrograde. I'm pretty sure it's on the 3rd. So same day as the full moon, we got Mercury going retrograde. It's going to be a confusing week. Can I just say that that might just be the theme of the week? Maybe we're not really sure. Maybe we have a gut instinct that somebody's lying to us or deceiving us, but we're not really sure. It's kind of hard to find out. Mercury going retrograde is not helping that in any way, shape, or form. And since the full moon is in the sign of Gemini, their ruling planet is Mercury, and it's going retrograde. Things are going to be definitely a little haywire this week. So hold on to your hats, hold on to your chairs, hold on to your shoes. It's going to be a wild and I think kind of a bumpy ride. But honestly, I think if you have a good person that you can bounce stuff off of, someone that you trust and that you know will tell you the truth, then you've got a good balance and a good anchor there to help you through the week. Whether that's just yourself or a therapist or a trusted friend. Just make sure you bring integrity and honesty to everything that you do this week, and to kind of take a step back and take extra time to really listen to what people are telling you, especially, and I'll cover this in a hot second, if you go to see a psychic or a medium. I've had a lot of people telling me lately that they're going to see a psychic or going to see a medium, and this person tells them that they've got bad spirits around them, and that for $300 they can release these spirits and this curse. I have low to no patience for that. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that that's okay. And I think that's a really shitty thing to do to people, because really and truly, you're just basing your work off of someone's fear. Someone's worry and someone's fear. So if you ever go to a psychic or a medium and they say that to you, you have every right to stand up and walk the fuck out. Okay? And I hope that you do. I encourage you that you do. It's not to say that I don't believe in curses or I don't believe in bad spirits being around a person or certain situations, but every single person that comes to you, you're telling them that. The odds of those things happening to begin with are incredibly rare and incredibly, something special needs to be going on there. Every single person coming to you, or you keep hearing that from multiple mediums and psychics, like, it just, absolutely not. Shut it the fuck down. That shit pisses me off. And if you really need to get money, if you really need work, you shouldn't have to scare people into doing that for you. Throwing it out there. So, just my 2 cents. Just be careful with whoever you work with this week. Whether it's a psychic or a medium, whether you're going to go get a house, whether you work with a real estate agent, whether you work with a doctor. Look, you guys, if the first thing that that person goes to is the fear, get the fuck out. That's not okay. That's not good. Or if they're getting you to do something based on your fears, you need to be present enough. You need to be aware enough and be listening to hear this person and what they're saying, to know that this is not where you belong, this is not where you need to be, and this person's just going to milk you for all you're worth. And it doesn't just happen in the mediumship and psychic communities. This happens all over. This happens everywhere. So pay attention this week. Don't be naive. Don't just give in to something because it sounds great. I want you to look at the paper too. It needs to be not only good in your ears, but good on paper as well, good in real life. So just double check everything. Take your time this week. Have patience. Things are going to be going haywire, and it's going to be difficult to know right from wrong, what's true here and what's false. So again, just take your time, have patience, and bounce it off of someone that you trust and that you know. Always, always, always. And also too, guys, can I say to you to trust yourself this week? Because let's be real. Whenever you talk to somebody and you get a certain feeling, you know what doesn't feel right and you know what does. And you need to pay attention to that this week. So if anything, I hope from this full moon, Mercury going retrograde, and still being in Sagittarius season, I hope that we all just take a chance here to really learn to trust ourselves going forward. And I was kind of thinking too, with the whole Sagittarius theme, they're the philosopher. I guess they would be considered the priest of the zodiac. So there's kind of a religious bent here, and it doesn't surprise me going up into Christmas. But don't be surprised if more people come out of the woodworks claiming that they're some kind of guru or some kind of, magician, or, whatever. They've got all the answers. I will be the very first to tell you that I don't have all the answers. I'm on the same trip that you are. We just happen to be friends and to be here at the same time. So, do not put people on pedestals. I don't care what they say. I don't care what salvation they promise you. Another thing too, the only person that can give you salvation is yourself. I don't care what you pay another person. The only salvation you can ever receive is from yourself. Okay? All right. Enough preaching for me. All right. So let's go ahead and pick the cards, okay? All right. So if we're going to do card number 1, this is going to be card number 1. And remember, with all these cards, guys, pick what you're drawn to. You can pick 1, 2, or all 3 cards. It does not matter. Listen to yourself here. All right. Card number 1. And then this will be card number 2. And then this will be, oh shit, dropping stuff. And then this will be card number 3. All right. Alrighty. Give you guys a second to kind of decide. But yeah, that just, it boils my blood when I hear other people trying to take advantage of others and say some wild shit like, well, you got evil spirits following you around. If you pay me $300, I'll get rid of it. That's just so gross. Yeah, I can't stand it whenever people, you know, especially psychics or mediums, they definitely come into this space and they get somebody there with them and, you know, they say to them, you know, something about, you know, evil dead people following them, or they got a curse on them and they can lift it for $300. Like, just why would you do that to someone? Why would you even be like that? Why would that even be the first thing that crosses your mind? I don't understand that, or anybody taking advantage of anyone in that type of way makes no sense to me. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's cool. And if you believe in anything about karma or energy coming back to you, or what you put out there coming back to you, that's not going to be good news for you whatsoever freaking ever. And again, I want to say too, maybe a negative side to Sagittarius is having like this zealot mind frame, especially if it has anything to do with religion or a certain idea about how the way the world should go. Not being a flexible person. So again, with this week, just watching out on the Gemini side, with making sure that you're balanced, that you're not lying or being deceitful, and that you're aware of anybody that's being that way to you and not feeding into it, as well as not becoming a zealot of a certain thing, allowing yourself to be balanced here. Stand that middle ground and really stand for what's true and what's right, not just what is crazy in the moment, you know, or going towards a fear and allowing that to guide your vision going forward. So yeah, I guess we could give a couple themes to this full moon, but that one, among the couple other things that I said would be mine. So yeah, just pay attention this week. It's going to be okay. No matter what energy is going on, no matter what happens in the world, just remember that the power's in your hands. And what you do with that information shapes everything that you do going forward. So take responsibility, stand in your power, and make a good choice here going forward. And we'll be all right. Okay, enough again. All right, let's see what the cards got to say. All right, so if you pick card number 1, which I just dropped on the floor, so hold on. You got the 8 of Wands, and here's your beautiful card. So, 8 of Wands is pretty awesome. Can I say that? Because I'll say that about all the tarot cards. But 8 of Wands really talks about, Wands are a card of manifestation. So what are we creating here in this moment? There's something here about successful timing and working in cahoots with other people towards a goal. I also want to say too, if you notice the columns on the card, this talks to me about going back to school or higher education and learning. So either you should be getting a certificate, you should be going back to school, or maybe just even taking a workshop or a class going forward to help kind of help you towards your goals, what you're manifesting here. And usually I would say like 9 times out of 10 when I'm talking about manifesting, it's usually in connection with your career, or like your career goals and stuff like that. So if that's what you're doing this week, I also want to say too that you might have 2 new opportunities going forward. Or it might be that you might be working with another, like just one other person or 2 other people going forward. So don't be afraid this week to ask your friends for help or to work with other people in your community, especially if you all have a similar goal. Why not work together? Again, I guess going back to, you know, psychic and mediumship stuff, I mean, that's where I work in. So, sometimes not always working with another medium or psychic is possible. Some mediums and psychics don't like that. They can be very territorial, where they just feel like, this is my space, let me be. I like being a loner, which I totally respect. But then there's also a great community out there of people that love to work with other people and love to do gallery readings together. And it's all about empowerment and helping each other to be better and to go bigger and better. So find those people for you this week. I feel like that community is going to help you go so much further than you just going at this all by yourself. There's also something here about the cat, or the black cat, being an animal totem as well. And you kind of balancing out these lighter and darker aspects of yourself. So as you're manifesting your goals and your dreams here, how can you also manifest balance for yourself so that you view yourself as the entire person that you are? Not that you're just some evil a-hole or that you're some, goddess on, or god or goddess on a pedestal. Like, you're something in between. Find that space, because that's truly where your power lies. If you give yourself away to the extremes here, like what we're talking about this week, you're not going to win. It's not going to work, and it's not going to last. Who can sustain god or goddess status? I mean, I will give it a good college try, let me assure you, but it is incredibly difficult to keep up with that kind of energy. It's not real. It's not real. So find your balance this week between the lightness and the darkness that is you. Find where your true power lies, somewhere in between, so that you can harness this energy that you're trying to manifest and really do something good with it. But be open to the new opportunities coming your way too. Again, I see either two new opportunities, or either you'll be working with another person in cahoots, or two other people in cahoots as well. And say yes. Say yes this week. I mean, that's how you get things done sometimes. No will help to defend you. No will help to establish boundaries. Yes is the opening of the floodgates and saying, let's go, let's do this, let's try this. So there's a certain aspect of being okay with the unknown this week as well, too. Final thing I want to say on this card. Yeah, walk through that doorway. If you notice on the card there's this doorway and like a little opening space above as well. And see how they're pointing, all those wands coming out of both of the ladies' hands are pointing to that in-between space. So yeah, there's this balance here. Or create your own doorway. If these opportunities showing up don't truly represent what you want or what you're looking for, create your own doorway, friend. Just do it. Why not? Why not? Why not? Just because there's two options doesn't mean you can't create a third. Think outside of the box this week. And with the addition of 8, this talks also about abundance and infinity. There's something important happening here that's looping back in on itself. So whether you're kind of relearning an old thing that's been cycling around for you, maybe you finally break a cycle and you realize, I have more power in this situation than I thought that I did. Just make sure that you always return back to yourself this week and always check in. And then again, with the added benefit of looking into the black cat as an animal totem and an extra message this week. Good job, you guys. All right. And if you pick card number 2, you got the 3 of Cups. What? And here's your beautiful card. Awesomeness, awesomeness. Yeah, yeah. Dude, 3 of Cups. Okay, celebration time. Straight up, it's celebration time if you haven't already been celebrating. So there's something here, and there's a balance, can I say, between the mind, the body, and spirit, especially with that number 3. So this talks about a balance between all those things, the worldly, the earthly, the spiritual, the emotional things, and taking care of them, everything feeling like it's finally in balance. If you notice in the background, there's a huge full moon. You see that pyramid down there too, pointing right up to that full moon? So when pyramids show up in this deck, it talks about the home space. It can also talk about the mental space and expanding that. Since this is just a pyramid and it doesn't seem to be a castle, or it hasn't changed into something bigger, I really want to say this is going to be about your home space this week, kind of pointing up towards your relationships within that home space. So I feel like it's going really freaking good. You can see the full moon is completely clear. This is a beautiful space with lots of greenery and growth. There's lots of water flowing as well. And when cups show up in a reading, they ask us about our emotions. Where are we emotionally? Are we stuck in the past? Are we freaking out about the future? Are we here in this present moment, dealing with things emotionally the only way, in the only space that we truly have power in? So this is really a call to get emotionally present and to realize how amazing things are for you right now. Even if a couple things aren't vibing for you, really on the home front and with your relationships, things are really quite beautiful right now. And I want to say too that your psychic abilities should be on high as well. So pay attention to what comes through for you. Not only is this card asking you to get present emotionally, they're saying whenever you do that, you'll be tapping into your psychic impressions, which will be helping you and guiding you and keeping this consistent. This is not just a fleeting card. This is not just a fleeting moment of happiness, where this is actually a celebration that can last much longer than a week or just Thanksgiving. You know, and really, isn't that the goal, where we have this lasting happiness? What can we do to establish that? And I'd like you to consider that this week. What can I do to keep this good thing going? What do I need to do, or what do I need to work on? How can I continue to be a good member of this home and keep adding in good energy, or doing my part here to keep this space happy and vibrating at a love level, you know? It's not to say that there's not going to be issues and problems, and you should absolutely definitely deal with those and deal with that stuff whenever it comes up. But how can we continue to just keep it a happy place is by dealing with it with love. Honestly, it's all going to keep going back to love in this card, I feel, this week. So you got any questions this week? Return it back to self-love. If you got any other questions this week about what you should do with family members or other crazy people, treat them with love. And allow that to be that balance, that beautiful. Let love be your eyes going forward and your heart. Let it guide you, essentially, is what I'm saying. But yeah, good work, good job. And do something this week to celebrate how far you've come, the accomplishments that you're finally finished with, everything that you've accomplished this year, really, because honestly, 2017 is coming to a close. So this is a perfect time for you to think about what are my next steps as well. So giving celebration and giving thanks for how far you've come, the good things that are going good for you, and then kind of prepping for the next level here as new opportunities show up for you. And good job, you guys, good job. And I bet your Thanksgiving was awesome, which is great, which is everything. I had a great Thanksgiving too. And I hope you guys had a really good Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was this is probably the best Thanksgiving I've had in a very long time. So, yeah, I was loving it. Okay, so if you pick card number 3, you got the Knight of Swords, and here's your beautiful card. Knight of Swords is amazing. To me, really, this card is about taking a leap of faith. And if you notice on the card there, she's got these little wings next to her ears. Usually you'd see them on the feet. That would stand for Hermes, which is the ruling god of Mercury, the god Mercury. Hermes and Mercury, same dude. To me, this card always talks to me of that, though. I always feel Mercury with this card. Well, with swords, whenever they show up in a reading, they talk about our mental space. Where are we? And Gemini and the sign Mercury, that ruling planet, rules Gemini, which we have this full moon in. So there's something here about communication. There's something here about really being up in your mental space and being clear about what it is that you want going forward, and not allowing limiting emotions to stop you from doing something, or maybe like this fear mentality from jumping into the unknown and really taking off with your life here. So I kind of want to say to you that there should be a new chapter kind of starting here for you soon, and that you feel like this is kind of like your jumping point. But in order for you to take that leap of faith, you're going to have to detach from this fear going forward in order to jump into that new galaxy and kind of start your new journey here. There's definitely, this card has this feeling of bigness, of something big about to happen, like you're on the verge and the cusp of something huge. Because I mean, a whole galaxy, you've got so much to explore, so much to understand, so much more new information coming your way. So get prepped and ready for that too. How can you handle all this new information coming your way? How can you handle all of this new opportunity showing up for you, especially mentally? So what can you do this week to either schedule yourself better or to make this easier for you so that you don't feel so overloaded mentally? Because everybody's got a lot going on, but I feel like if you pulled this card, you got an extra lot going on here, with the added thing of you taking a leap of faith, with the added thing of like a whole new galaxy of either information, new people, new situations. Maybe you started a new job. So it's like a whole new setting, a whole new world. kind of really out in front of you right now that you get to explore. Gather information right now and hold it off to the side. Don't make any final decisions right now either, especially with Mercury going retrograde. Like, this is not a great week to be throwing the hammer down and saying, you know, all or nothing. It's not going to work. That's actually going to make it suck way worse. So give yourself some flexibility this week. Allow yourself to be in a receptive state of mind and to be open to what comes through to you, what comes through for you. And don't allow fear to stop you from taking a leap of faith that you know with all of your heart is going to help you to move forward. And take your time, have some patience this week as well. And know too that no matter what comes up for you mentally, you don't have to fight for something that honestly belongs to you. Does that make sense? That you don't have to duke it out with someone. If you already own this thing, if you already own your mental space, and say somebody comes up this week to fight you about it or throw some kind of whatever in the wrench to get you maybe going back towards fear or something, shut it down. And you don't even need to fight the person about it. Just walk away and know that the power's in your hands and to trust yourself, okay? Good job, you guys. It's freaking awesome. This is an awesome week too. If we look at the cards, we got Wands, Cups, and Swords. So this is a week of manifestation, of being present emotionally and being present mentally, so that we can do all that we can to take the energy of this week and really help ourselves with it. You know, it's good stuff. All right, so the stone I picked for this week was Amazonite. Woohoo! And here is the beautiful stone. And I actually have a couple beads because I don't have like a huge chunk anymore, or at least I can't find it. So there's that. But yeah, these, let's see if I can get, I grabbed a couple so you could see some of the color variants on them, because sometimes they can have like light blue in it and like a light green and a gray. Sometimes they're browns in there. You can see some of the brown at the bottom on that one. But it's really this beautiful like greenish blue color. I want to say it's more green than it is blue, and it may be hard to see in this thing because it gets dark at like 1 p.m. now. God, I am not a fan of the winter time. So it's I'm doing this literally by candlelight, so the struggle's real. But yeah, this is the stone of truth. So I really, and trusting yourself with Amazonite. So this is the stone I wanted to pick this week because I want to bring us back to that. So with this stone, always, always, always grab a chunk that's the size of a quarter or larger. And I would say with Amazonite and the color of it, keep it close to your heart or keep it close to your throat. The stone will also help you to speak your truth with love. Which is awesome this week if you need any of that going on, especially if somebody's throwing you some bullshit. And then you gotta be the bigger person here and maybe say something back to them. So just trust yourself this week. And if you need help with that, this stone should be able to help get you back to center so that you are trusting yourself and you're able to kind of focus your energy on what the truth of the situation is, especially if there's haziness around it or you can't seem to find the real answer. Grab a chunk of this awesome stone and keep it on you so that it helps you going forward. So yeah, keep it on your ears, keep it on your throat, wear a necklace. I don't know, get a piece of it and stick it on your third eye. It doesn't matter to me. It's whatever makes you happiest here. It's whatever works for you. And remember, you guys, this is your week. Make it an amazing one. And thank you guys so much for letting me be here. Oh, also too, I want to say that, oh, there's Mattis, he just jumped up. I want to say that at this full moon, I'll be making more of those sage sprays. I have a couple bottles left that people did not already grab up. So just let me know if you want, from this next full moon, if you guys want a bottle of sage spray. And really what I'm going to focus on with the energy of the sage spray is about finding balance and finding truth. So it's going to have some extra special awesome themes in there. Who knows, I might add some Amazonite to the mix as well, which would be kind of nice. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know how this was for you below. And thank you guys again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.